Guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Today, we are trying out another build that didn't quite make the list of the top 3 builds, but is still a very honorable mention. So, we're gonna start off this run as everybody's favorite character. As some people's favorite character, the Engineer. Now, personally, he's my favorite character because, well, I like not playing the game. But we're not playing a build where we get to not play the game today. Today, we are playing the game focused around moving sentries. Specifically, egocentrism with those moving sentries. So, as nobody knows, because I've never talked about it before, other than maybe in my VODs, and nobody watches those anyway, I am a personal fan of egocentrism. One of my favorite items in the game. Now, of course, egocentrism isn't the best item in the game by any stretch of the imagination, but I very much so enjoy playing with it. So, I've taken my skills from egocentrism on Acrid, and I'm gonna try translating them to skills with egocentrism on Engineer. I haven't tried this build out yet. I've tried out so many other things with Engineer except for this build. But that being said, let's just start building the build. So, first and last thing you're gonna need, egocentrism. If you haven't noticed by now, that's the only item you'll need. And if you don't already know what egocentrism is, you shouldn't be watching this video. But it crazy. It is essentially an item that will steal all of your items, but give you blue orbs that orbit you. Of course, it's Verdant Falls again. It'll give you blue orbs that orbit you. They'll kill anything that comes in a pretty close proximity. And the reason this is good on Engineer instead of any other character, it's still good on all the other characters. But because on Engineer your turrets inherit all your items, that includes items such as egocentrism. So, of course, with 2, maybe even 3 turrets, if we can keep a Lysate cell up, we'll get amazing results from this. Of course, if we can't, not a very big deal. It's still gonna be a great item nonetheless. Also, reason to play with command on, because of course this build is relatively easy to set up compared to some other builds. You know, you just need to get egocentrism. But the main reason I personally use Artifact of Command on this specifically is because you can pick like 3 items, 2 whites, 1 green, to just be able to keep getting to sort of counteract that process that the egocentrism is taken on all your items. So, I think right here, ooh, this is gonna be a hard one. I think I'm gonna choose just speed enhancing items and a Lysate cell if I can get one to begin with, which, you know, not the best likelihood to happen, but also not the worst. But yeah, keeping up something like, you know, something like Soda, especially on Engineer, because he doesn't have any good movement abilities. See, on Seeker, there's a funny build I did with egocentrism, which is the orb build. Basically, with Seeker's alternate, you can have orbs circling you, Seeker's mobility, you can become an orb, And then egocentrism, you have orbs circling you. So of course it's the orb build. You know, very fun. I would suggest trying that out. Other than that though, there's not really much to say about this build, other than just keep a couple items. So all the rest here will just be some nice gameplay with possibly a little bit of commentary from me, because I don't know, I like to hear myself talk or something. Alright, so feel free to click off the video now. Just saying. You know, although these turrets usually get a little, I think they get a little too harshly judged. Like, they're bad, sure, but are they really that bad? Yes. But can they be good in some situations? Absolutely. Of course, like this one. I've seen a build, and I actually tried it out once, where you can use, my words are not wording right now, sorry. You can use the fuel array from the drop pods, and you can make that, basically make your engineer turrets suicide bombers. The only problem is that deals damage to everything, including you, and you also have to keep the fuel array on you, which makes you, you know, extra vulnerable to everything. But that's something you can try out if you want to. And I know this build has been covered multiple times. This is why it hasn't made its way into the 3 best builds. I have figured out all 3 of the builds, and I have started recording. But unfortunately, because I am currently not willing to spend any sort of money on getting like an actually good video editor, so my choices are like CapCut, Clidio, and the YouTube editor. And all of those have their advantages and disadvantages. But I'd prefer to just use OBS in a really weird convoluted way where you can sort of record the clips, line them up by just putting the file into the thing, and you know, just make, you know, the whole process just a little bit easier. But yeah, so that video, I don't want to say it'll be released this weekend, but there's a chance it'll be released this weekend. I might just take Saturday, just like finish it. But it will be released sometime in the near future, hopefully by the 25th at the latest. So that's what, next Thursday? Yeah, 25th at the latest. But you'll have that to look forward to. Also, thank you guys for all of the appreciation I've seen on the past build video on Risk of Rain. Intend on making more of these. It's just really hard to think of combinations, because like I come from playing Destiny 2, okay, and of course I didn't make any videos on that. I will in the near future. But I come from playing Destiny 2, where there's so many options on making builds, so many different things to try out, where a game like this, like, sure, I can make different builds till the cows come home, but they just won't be that unique, sorta, you know? And that's really what you're always trying to get with all these builds, but, you know, there are only so many things you can do in a limited game. And this is, of course, a bit of a limited game. I mean, every game has its limitations, but, you know, this one just has a couple more. So that being said, of course, I will try to make the videos, and I'll try to make the videos as entertaining as possible, but no promises. No promises. I'm gonna get that. There is a very good chance it just gets eaten immediately, but I need some healing just for the time being. Because, you know, I'm not doing so well on that. If I can keep those up, if I can keep those, the energy drinks, and the cells as my items, I wouldn't be too disappointed with that. I'm gonna bring out the disposable missile launcher just because until we find that, which that might be it, but until we find that cradle, we at least can use our fuel cells to their maximum potential. Of course, that still isn't much with what, a 13-second cooldown, probably even more. But you know, we still get that extra little kick. New altars down there, we don't really need it. I'll get another one of those, just so they don't get immediately non-existed. But yeah, once we get a good orbit going on us and the turrets, that'll be real nice. What did I just take there? A fuel cell. Well, we got the fuel cell back. Yeah, that's the good thing about having Artifact of Command, so if you can just choose like 3-4 items you want to keep, you can do that. Alright. I missed your blade. The difficulty did not increase. You don't get to do that. Oh. You better explain yourself. Yeah, it's not the most potent build ever. It definitely requires a bit of skill even with Artifact of Command on. Because of course there's balancing your items and then there's like... So balancing your... kind of a big one. And you know, without command it's still possible. It doesn't, again, command doesn't really affect this, it just makes it so that I can choose a couple items I really want to keep. Of course you can also grab ego later in the run. You know, make it a little better. A little more bearable. But you know, all up to you. After all, you'll be the one playing this. Yeah, it's just so hard thinking of build ideas. I do want to say, if you do have any build ideas of your own that you want me to cover, let me know down in the comments. I'm happy to hear from you. Happy to hear if there are any ways to make this build better. If anybody has any tips, tricks, have tried this out before themselves, have anything that'll help out everybody else, it's nice to drop down there. That'd be awesome. Also, while you're down there, give the video a like, give me a subscribe. Again, up to you. I don't really care that much, but you know, just while you're down there. So, there's a certain balance with this loadout where you sort of have to balance going fast so you can, because there's no real reason to stick around for long. It doesn't really matter what red I get, it'll be getting removed here in a second anyway. Where? Wait, no way! I'm taking that. If I get an aspect drop on stage 3 on a run where I don't really need my equipment, I'm taking it. Now I'm just fiery boy. I deal a bit of fire. That's pretty nice. I hate the new gilded enemies. Like, if I can just be real with you for a second, the new gilded enemies shouldn't really, like, have ever been put into the game. Like, they were not a good addition to Risk of Rain. They were not a quality addition to Risk of Rain 2. in my personal opinion. And you might disagree with that, and that's perfectly fine with me, but in my humble opinion. Wouldn't it be nice if, like, using some of the aspects did something? Although, all my attacks, if I do remember correctly, all my attacks do now burn. Which is pretty nice, if you do ask me. So, I think we'll be hightailing it out of this stage pretty soon, because, you know, we gotta try to balance going fast with still getting items for ego. You know, it's kind of a fickle little place. I'm weakened. Like, I'm sorry. I need to stop with that, like, raspy, like, laugh. I have listened back to so much of my stuff. Doesn't matter how old, how new, I have done that, like, sort of, like, little fake laugh every time I record myself. And, like, I don't enjoy it. I know you probably don't enjoy it. I notice it's a problem. I'm trying to fix it. But, you know, everybody got their problems. Mine are just a little odd. So yeah. There's also a good chance we just don't get a lysite cell and we've picked all these up for nothing. Which is fine. Of course, gotta get them. Oh, they all become flaming boys too. Okay. They become blazing engineer turrets. That's something good to know. Very good to know. So, if you didn't know, fun fact about engineer, if you pick up an aspect, all of your turrets get that aspect too. And that's actually, hold up, let me cook. This might make the walking turrets actually good. 'Cause they're constantly attacking. Which means if you get something like the setup we have, they're constantly inflicting flaming onto everybody else. Okay. So all these guys are getting, like, you see those ignite stacks? You see them go up there? And all the ego orbs are also putting ignite stacks on. You might actually be able to get a build with these guys going with this sort of thing. Because if you can get this setup without the egocentrism, with like a shatter spleen and max crit, these guys could actually start dealing like False Sun's laser type stuff. I guess I haven't really. That's actually an avenue we can go down because we're doing all these builds. We could go down the whole walking turret avenue. That might actually be useful. Let me know in the comments if you would ever like to see that. But I don't know, I'm kind of cooking right now. The one time I actually am. Now here, we are not going to try for the red chest. If we get it, I'm not complaining about it. But if we don't get it, I'm not complaining about it. Let me slap down these turrets here. Get a little bit more ego on the field. Yeah, so in essence, this is the build, like right here. Like honestly, if we can keep pocket ICBM, that's gonna increase our damage from our alternate ability a little bit. I mean, still not the greatest, but it's a little better. 2,000. That's actually not too bad. Not too bad for the red chest. We might just want to call in our. Yeah, we're calling in the boys. Cause I might genuinely die here. Alrighty. I do not like my current situation right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Alrighty. Well, another pocket ICBM. That'll increase our damage and just, you know, keep us having a pocket ICBM twice as long. Well, honestly, I might get the red chest now if we can just keep up a little more pocket ICBM, because like those are nice. I mean, I could just get real unlucky and like both of those just become 2,800. Okay. Back to back, I get my ICBMs taken away. But you know, only so many things you can control in a run like this. Well, it is command, so like I kind of can't speak. You know, I got 5 charges of an elite aspect. Doesn't really do anything. Yeah, so I never really thought that an elite aspect would be amazing for this, but I think the elite aspect really makes it like 10 times better. Because you just get that extra scorch stacks on people, get them further down. Also, if you're still watching this on YouTube, all of the I do most of my recording sessions live on Twitch, just because, like, why not? So if you want to check that out, I'm pretty sure Twitch should automatically be putting the link to the channel in the description, so you can come to that anytime you would like. Come check me out. Usually I stream recording sessions. I don't have a real good stream schedule right now. Well, if I'm ever recording a video, I'll record it while on stream. If I'm ever just doing a couple runs for fun, sometimes I'll stream it. Like, just things like that. Also, one of our pocket ICBMs is gone, so I'm gonna get another one. Yeah. So do not think keeping up a red is gonna be a regular occurrence on this kind of build. Because this is, I think, the first time on this build I've ever been able to keep a red for longer than, like, a stage. And get 3 reds of that at that. So, you know, take everything you see in this run with a little bit of a grain of salt, because this is a real lucky run right now. Because, like, just all the red density, the elite aspect off the start. You know, just a really nice couple of things. I swear I picked that up. I do not exactly like where we're at for white items right now, though. Only got 4 of them. Not the greatest situation. Especially because we rely on whites for most of Ego's items and our main source of healing being the shroom. That's crazy. That's wild. And this is why, okay, this right here is why this didn't make the top 3 list, because it leaves you pretty vulnerable to most sources of damage. Like, I was just in a command essence there trying to grab something real quick, and I just got hit by that Lemurian, normal Lemurian by the way, and it just ended me right there. So, you know, this is a build to definitely take with a grain of salt, but otherwise I would say it's a pretty fun build to play, try out. Just have your turrets walking around killing everything, you walking around killing everything. If you can get that aspect, that was extremely good. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. See you next time.